Great. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for taking the time today to discover an amazing project. So what I propose to you for today is that we first do an overview of the project so that you understand on what market is happening, what is the opportunity, and then we will take the time to understand more in detail how it's working. So today, we're going to talk about the problem, which is the plastic waste issue in the world, a big natural disaster that we all know about. Then we're going to talk about a solution that is developed by this company that we work together with. This solution includes what is called a plastic credit, which is a true revolution in the space. And then there is a business opportunity. It's possible to actually earn money in a conscious way with this business. So today, this is what we're going to talk about in the next 15 minutes. Let me just read the claim. We are independent partners. We're not financial advisors. So this service is offered by Corsair, this company, and it's a plastic waste removal service. So it's not a financial product, just to be clear for everyone. And the plastic credit is provided as an evidence to support the combined mission of Emplivo and the Corsair Group. And this is to remove the plastic waste from the environment. So we don't need any financial license for acquiring this plastic credit. Great. So now that we're done with the disclaimer, let's jump in. Who has ever seen that from their own eyes? Raise your hand. Maybe not everyone, because you have to go a little bit out of the cities, but close to every big city, there is landfills. And some of them, they look like the Sahara Desert, like you see on the picture. It's so much plastic. And it seems that we don't have a solution for it, because it just piles up in nature. But today, we're going to talk about a solution, what we believe to be the solution. If you went diving in the sea, you've seen that the last 10 years, the last 15 years, every year there's more and more plastic in the sea. And there's more and more garbage in the landfills, which takes a lot of time to degrade, sometimes doesn't degrade at all. And we're leaving this planet trashed to our children. We need to take our responsibility. This was a river, now it's a river of plastic. This might as well have been taken in Bali. You all know, if you're here today, that this is how it really is today. And everyone, whether you're in Bali or not, you've seen the beaches trashed with plastic that's coming back from the sea. So nature is throwing back at us our waste. We have a problem with microplastics. The plastic in the sea with the UV and the sun and the air, it breaks down in small particles, which are eaten by plankton, which then are eaten by fish and coming back into our food chain. Today, some studies estimate that we eat 1 credit card of plastic every week. Through the water, through the salt, through the beer, through the fish. And the plastic is not just a problem for humans and for the environment, it's a problem for the animals too. This might have been taken in Sri Lanka, for example. Animals die because they eat plastic. So did you know that a classic styrofoam cup takes 50 years to degrade, and we probably used it for 2 minutes? An aluminum can, it takes 200 years. But actually, a nappy or a plastic bottle or a toothbrush can take more than 450 years. And we literally used it for a few minutes. Today in the world is 3.5 billion toothbrush sold every year. To 3.5 billion. And they're going to stay like this for 500 years. That's crazy. So the solution, the Corsair group that we work together with, they found a solution is to transform all this plastic waste into what they call an advanced bio-oil. And what are we going to do with this bio-oil? We're going to make new plastic with it. It's the solution to take all the plastic waste in nature and put it back into production. And there is no reason why we don't do that. We should have done it before, and today is the right timing to do it. They have facilities all over the world. For now, in production, in activity, in Thailand and in Finland. Like the one you see now is the new one in Finland, in Jämsä. The big L-shaped building has 6 hectares, 6 football fields. So it's a lot of machine we can put there. And now they're planning to open in Sardinia, in Italy, in the Netherlands, in Laos, and it's just a matter of time before these facilities are everywhere. Corsair is certified by the ISCC Plus. That's the international standard and certification for carbon emissions. The guys who are doing the carbon story, they're also doing the plastic story. Same certification bodies. So this company, we have this certification. Why? First of all, it's certifying our product, the oil, so that we can sell it to the plastic manufacturing companies. It's verifying that we have a good quality product and that we don't pollute further the environment. Now, what's really important is that the demand is enormous for this oil. Because now in Europe, it's mandatory by law to use 30% of recycled material to make new plastic. It's crazy. That means now the companies have to find 1/3 of their raw material, and they cannot take it from crude oil. They have to use a plastic recycled oil. That's what Corsair is doing with its machines. The demand is huge. Today, if all of these companies were to comply to the law, it's estimated they need 100 billion liters. And I said 100 billion liters per year. And the production today is 50 million liters. 100 billion, 50 million. There is a huge demand for this oil, and that's a market that is exploding. And this company is, of course, one of the leaders in the field. And then they added what is called a plastic credit. Basically, every time some plastic waste is recycled into this oil, a plastic credit is emitted. It's just a digital receipt for the operation. And what is the use of this plastic credit? It's for companies and individuals all around the world to be able to offset their plastic footprint so that they can become what is called plastic neutral and tell their customers, hey guys, we care about the environment, we care about plastic, we know it's a big problem. Look, we can prove to you we removed plastic from the environment. The CSR is about corporate social responsibility. And it's about helping companies literally take their responsibility for their waste. And this is a huge opportunity for you to earn money. Quickly look at all the companies that are working with us today. You have a lot of brands that you know about, prestigious partners. We can come back later on it in the questions and answer. And this plastic credit, when a company decides to become what is called plastic neutral, then they get to tell their customers by putting the logo, like you see on the picture, on the packaging of their product. For example, this water bottle here, called Loxley in Thailand, they have the logo. This supplements box, they have the logo. This CBD supplement, they have the logo. What does it say? It tells the customer, look, with this product, we don't add any plastic in the environment. The plastic of this packaging was already compensated. We removed it from the environment to the same amount as this one. And this is a huge competitive advantage because it was showed that 80% of people would go for the plastic neutral piece and not the same product that is not plastic neutral, because everybody knows about this problem. So why is it interesting for you? Where is the opportunity here? What we offer to you is that you purchase what is called a plastic neutrality package. you're going to order to the company, please remove this amount of plastic from the environment for me. They're going to remove it from the environment, and they're going to give you the receipt, a new plastic credit. So you are here to trigger the creation of a new plastic credit, which then you can put on the market for sale for the companies of the world. So the community is engaged to create new plastic credit and put it in the world for its use. And there's a lot of money to be made there. It's an exploding market. We can see that later in the questions and answers. And then you can make money another way as well, which is what we are doing. If you help people and you help companies to become plastic neutral, to jump on board and clean up the environment with us, you get commissions. And it will only cost you 30 euro per year to get your business license. You can be earning 100,000 euro per year, and it will have cost you 30 euro. It's a great business opportunity. We're not going to stop here today in this presentation about the different commissions, but just know that you get 12% on the first level, 8% on the second and the third, 5% on the one under. It's very generous. So to conclude this overall presentation, before we go in details, Corsair and Amplivo, they are on a mission to get rid of the plastic waste on the planet, to turn it into advanced bio-oil to make plastic again. And we don't have to take so much new petrol. We should use the existing plastic. So join us on this mission and help us to save the world of plastic waste for the future generations. And now, what I'm going to propose to you is that we watch a video, a 5-minute video of the company showing its operations, showing its machines, and showing what is their mission and their vision.
Established in Thailand and in the Netherlands, with its global head office located in Bangkok and its European head office located in Amsterdam, Corsair Group currently employs approximately 100 people. The company focuses on coordinating, developing and financing environmentally friendly and ecologically important businesses and projects.
Corsair Group is a company founded in 2020 to develop solutions to solve some of the largest environmental problems facing our planet today. Our main focus at the moment is centered around building solutions to solve the global plastic waste crisis.
Corsair is utilizing a chemical recycling process called pyrolysis, where waste plastics such as used plastic bags, wrapping materials and packaging products can be transformed from their existing solid state into their original liquid form, oil, generally referred to as advanced bio-oil or pyrolysis oil.
ขั้นตอนในการผลิตไพโรลิซิสเริ่มจากการเผาไหม้พลาสติกในห้องอับอากาศโดยใช้เชื้อเพลิงน้ำมันไพโรลิซิสในการเผาไหม้ผลิตภัณฑ์ที่ได้จากการผลิตน้ำมันไพโรลิซิสมีอยู่4ประเภท1น้ำมันหนัก2น้ำมันเบา3คาร์บอนแบค4แก๊ส
In 2021, Corsair launched the CSR Plastic Credit, a revolutionary way for every individual and company around the world to reduce their plastic waste footprint and to become plastic neutral. Similarly to the carbon credits, each plastic credit represents a fixed amount of plastic waste, which is no longer polluting the environment.
CSR is an ERC20 token, a digital asset built on top of the Ethereum blockchain, the second largest blockchain available today. The removal of plastic waste has to be in some way recorded and documented in much the same way as the carbon credit is. We've created a solution to allow both individuals and organisations globally to be recognised for their efforts in reducing plastic waste.
We at Corsair believe that in the next coming years, every company, every business around the world, especially in the developed parts of the planet, will be by law obligated to take responsibility of their plastic waste footprint. CSR Plastic Credit offers an easy-to-use, transparent and efficient way for every private individual and every business to reduce and offset their plastic waste footprint, and as a result of that, become certified plastic neutral.
Corsair, one of the fastest growing chemical recycling companies in the world, wants to make it as easy as possible for everyone to play a part in the protection of our environment. With Corsair's innovative technologies and programs in place, and with the CSR Plastic Credit, every person and every company can now become plastic neutral by offsetting and removing their plastic waste footprint. Corsair is targeting to expand its chemical recycling operations of plastic waste internationally in order to recycle 2 billion kilos of plastic waste annually from 2030 onwards, and to become a major chemical recycling company on a global scale, with a focus in Asia, Europe, and the United States of America. The long-term target of Corsair is to supply 100% of its advanced bio-oil for the use of the plastic manufacturing industry, and to offer a more environmentally friendly and sustainable alternative for the traditional oil used today. We are facing a crisis of epic proportions. Plastic waste is destroying our oceans, suffocating our wildlife, and poisoning our communities. Every day we produce millions of tons of plastic, and much of it ends up in our environment. This is not just an environmental problem, it's a humanitarian crisis.
In the very core of all of our operations is the concept of building long-term and strong partnerships. Corsair is looking to work together in partnership with all like-minded private individuals, companies, and organizations around the world who share our passion for a cleaner future. It is our responsibility to do everything in our power to clean our planet from this plastic waste pollution and to leave a healthier, cleaner, and safer planet for our children and for the future generations. Thank you very much.
Okay, so I know it was condensed, it was a lot of information, and sometimes I tend to talk a little bit fast, but I wanted you to first have an overall view of what is happening. Was that clear? Raise your hand if it was clear. The overall, huh? Okay, great. So now let's open for talking more about the details. So I want to hear it from you guys. Do you have a first question? And then we can take it from there.
So yes, I just have one question.
Yeah.
I didn't quite understand the business model. Can you please explain it a bit further?
For sure. Let me put a slide for that. Great question. It's important we understand the business model properly. So now that you had the overview and the video, you're going to easily understand it with this slide. So we're going for a change of paradigm. That's what we really need at the planetary level. And what is this paradigm change? Is that the waste now has a value so that it never ends up in nature. Someone will have benefited from it and earn money. So what this company is doing is taking plastic trash, putting it into these recycling factories, which extracts, like you saw in the video, what is called the raw material, this plastic oil. And just that in itself is extracting millions of euros, tomorrow 100 million of euros from the trash. And then we talked about the plastic credit. And the plastic credit is a second value extracted from the same plastic trash, which is not about the product of the recycling, but about the service of recycling for companies to become what we call plastic neutral. And that too is millions, tomorrow 100 millions of euros. And the genius is that it all comes from free trash that no one wants anyway, and that on top of it pollutes the environment. And they're able to extract 2 times millions of euros out of this free trash that no one wants and pollutes the ecosystem. So this is a quick overview of the business model. That's how it's extracting value from the trash. And now, to answer your question a bit deeper, let's zoom into the first part, which is the raw material. What is going on exactly there? It's an industrial activity from plastic to plastic. And it's a key for a circular economy, which means no trash ends up in nature. It all goes back into the system. So like you saw in the video, they have sorting centers to prepare and clean up the plastic. They put it in this big machine that you saw, which probably doesn't fit into this room. It's very big. It's called advanced recycling. And it makes this oil, the plastic oil. We can call it the pyrolysis oil, or we can call it the advanced bio oil. There's many names, but you got what it is. It's what is used to make new plastic. So this we're going to sell to the big guys. I can't tell you the name exactly, but we can give examples like Total, ExxonMobil, Shell, BP, and so on. Those guys, they need to buy it by law because they have to respect the 30% recycled material in their plastic, and they just don't know how to find it. Remember, 100 billion of demand, 50 million of production. Very easy to sell. Let me give you some numbers. One machine, it can produce approximately 900,000 liters of this oil. And today on the market, it sells at $1 per liter. So technically, one machine like this, it extracts 900,000 euros from the landfill, from trash every year. So this is for what we call the industrial part. And then if we zoom on the plastic credit part, which is very important for you guys to understand, the plastic credit is the second way we extract millions from the environment. What is a plastic credit? It's an amount of recycled plastic. That's it. So this particular CSR, it's 100 grams of plastic that was already recycled. That's audited and certified. So companies are going to use this instrument to pay Corsair to clean up the environment. And what we offer to you guys is that you actually order the company to clean up the environment. So this is you. You order to the company, please remove plastic waste from the environment. Okay, we're going to do it. They do it. It's audited and recycled and certified. And then they give you the receipt because you're the one who ordered that. So literally, you are here to generate new plastic credits. And I'm almost done here with the answer. Stay focused with me. What are we going to do with these plastic credits? How do I earn money with that? These plastic credits, you're going to put it for sale on the public marketplace, and companies are going to buy it so that they can receive, in exchange of the tokens, what is called a certificate. And this certificate, we can zoom on it right after so you have an idea. It tells everyone in the world, we are plastic neutral, and you can verify it. So this plastic credit you created, it has a use in the world. You're going to put it out there. They're going to buy it. You're going to make a profit if you sell for a profit. If you sell at a loss, that's your problem. But there is a lot of profit we can make. And companies can get their certificate. So let me finish by showing you the certificate, because else you don't really know what's happening. That's the certificate for my company, Mooneye Creations. And what you can see is that it certifies that the 2nd of January, we removed 2,500 kilo of plastic from the environment. And then there's a QR code. So why don't you take your phone now and you scan the QR code and tell me what you find. So what you find is a technical page on the blockchain, which means it's secured and it's transparent. And it's showing you that someone paid 25,000 CSR and that they went to a retirement wallet. So this is the proof that anybody can check. Yes, this company really paid out of their pocket these tokens. And it went to a burn wallet. It went to the trash. No one will sell those tokens again. So let me ask you to conclude this part. Who would trust a big company if they say, I promise I clean up the environment of plastic? But you cannot verify. No one is raising the hand because you would not trust them. But with this, you could verify yourself. And that's amazing. So that's the business model part. I hope it was clear for you. Did it answer your question on the industrial and the plastic credit? Great. Is there another question? Yeah, Bianca?
Yeah, it's okay, so how do we make money from plastic credits?
So to answer this question, I would like to tell you about carbon credit. Can you raise your hand if you have any idea what is a carbon credit? Okay, a little bit more people than the plastic credit. The carbon credit is the equivalent to the plastic credit. It's an amount of recycled CO2. Well, not recycled, but it's an amount of CO2 that compensates a pollution. So for example, if you plant a lot of trees, they're going to consume this CO2. So you can compensate another amount of CO2 you put in the environment. The market is very similar because it's the same actors, it's the same political bodies, it's the same regulators, it's the same politicians that are going after plastic now. So it makes sense to look at what happened on the carbon credit market. And look at this. Virtually, in 5 years, the price of 1 ton of CO2 multiplied by 40. So back in 2017 over there, it was €2 for a ton. And today it's €80 for a ton in the European Union. So if you had purchased some basically tons of CO2 back in 2017, you would have multiplied its value by 40. And what we are really confident in saying is that the plastic credit market is here. It didn't start to go up yet because the regulations are coming, because companies are more and more sensitive to this topic, and because the focus of all the political bodies is going towards plastic now. So that's the opportunity, guys. We cannot promise if it's going to do 40 times or 20 or 100, but what we can say is that it's going to look like this. And it's a good idea to get on board now before the wave comes. So that's essentially the answer to your question. How do I earn money with the plastic credit? Well, you create new plastic credit by ordering to the company, and then you just hold on your token. You just hold on to it. If you want, you can get your own certificate to say, as an individual, you're plastic neutral, and you hold on to the rest until the market pops. And it's about to pop in 2024. That's what we see on the market.
I have a question.
Go for it.
So I understand that they're taking plastic refuse and turning that into bio oil, this advanced oil. And I understand the idea of CSR, of a plastic credit, but I don't understand the relationship between the two. How does one get created and then the other one, or does, yeah, I'm a little confused on that.
Great question there. how is connected a real recycling activity with real machines and this plastic credit, which is flying around in the world on the marketplace.
Yeah.
All right, so let's sum up a little bit what's happening on the recycling part and the plastic credit part. How is it connected? So what we told you is that we have the opportunity to trigger the creation of new plastic credit and then to put it on the market. So on one side, there's this Corsair company with big machines, and they're recycling plastic, and they're making the oil, which they sell to the petrochemical companies. And what we said is that every time 100 grams is recycled, they can put on the market one plastic credit, because this plastic credit is 100 grams only. This will never change. So this plastic credit literally represents an amount of recycled plastic. And then what we were explaining is that on the other hand, what do we do with this plastic credit? We put it on the marketplace so that companies of the world can become what we call plastic neutral. So on one hand, you have the recycling industrial activity, and on the other hand, you have a public marketplace. And where are we? We're in the middle, actually. We're here to bridge the world of the recycling machines, creating new plastic credit, and the world of the plastic neutrality. You remember what they can put on the little sticker? So our role, let's make it clear, is to order new plastics to be recycled and to offer companies the possibility to become plastic neutral. Because to become plastic neutral, they need the plastic credit. And who has it? Us. So we're making available this service to companies. Does that answer your question? Nice. You have good questions today, guys.
Yes. Well, I wanted to ask about the regulations, because you mentioned that the 30%, that in Europe, 30% of the petrol must be from recycled resources.
Yeah.
So, like, this is going to increase, or what is the regulation about it, like, exactly?
Yeah, okay, it's a great question because we talked about regulation several times. So clearly, this whole business is pushed by the regulations, which is great because for once that we benefit from the regulations. Let's just see what is happening on the market today so that we can see what is the timing. So I like to say that this is the right timing. 3 years ago, not the right timing. 10 years ago, definitely not the right timing. You need the timing to be right in order to something to succeed in business. So let's check about what is happening on the market. First of all, with the UN, 175 countries committed and signed in 2022, in February, if I remember, that they will implement restrictive measures in their countries by end of 2024. We'll come back to it right after. Then, in the European Union, which is kind of leading the charge, they already voted, so that's already happening, that by 2030, there needs to be 30% of the raw material from making plastic that doesn't come from crude oil, but that comes from plastic itself. So companies that manufacture or import plastic to the European Union, they have to figure it out. They have to find 30% of recycled raw material. And then most of us, we don't know, but there was 6 billion euro already paid in plastic fines in 2021. And the worst students were, let's point fingers, France, Germany, and Italy. These guys, they were too far from the 30% recycled plastics, so they got a huge fine. And let me tell you, this money, the people of Europe paid for it with their taxes. And on top of it, this 6 billion, they didn't go to clean up nature. They just went to something else. So let's comment a little bit on that. On the first part here, what the countries are committing to do, and they met again in Paris in June 2023, And then they met again in Kenya in November 2023, 2 months ago. And they are getting ready to commit in a legally binding way that by end of 2024, which is this year, they will start the implementation of restrictive measures against plastic pollution. That means they will start to basically force the companies to emit less plastic pollution, probably to compensate their plastic footprint and to use more recycled material. So it's coming from the top here. The companies will be forced by their governments to make efforts because everyone knows it's all coming from the big companies. And they could have recycled a bit earlier. 20 years ago, it was possible, but they didn't. Fair enough. In the European Union, just know that it will increase. 2040, it will be 40% of recycled material. 2050, 50%, and hopefully even more. That forces a circular economy. That forces that every plastic waste we have, we just put it back to make new plastic. And that's fantastic for us, for this company. And then the last comment is, like we said, the fines, they're not coming. They're already implemented and happening right now. So as a sum up for this page, to answer your question, it's moving and it's moving fast. And let me take 1 second to also tell you, what are these big companies saying? Nestlé, Danone, Unilever, PepsiCo. Look at the titles of these articles. They're saying plastic credits can save the ocean. They're agreeing on plastic chemical recycling, which is exactly what Corsair is doing. Used in the right way as part of a holistic approach, chemical recycling can contribute to a world where no plastic ends up in nature. Exactly, right? Now with today's presentation, you understand what they mean. You understand now that the regulators, the politicians, but also the big companies, they are all going in the same direction, which makes us confident that we're going to see a great progress, a great success, both for the machines and the plastic credit. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, it makes sense.
So let me just conclude now. So to wrap it up, in case you're interested, which I hope you are, because everyone should be interested into this project, what is the next step for you? You are going to have to order your plastic recycling. And for that, we refer you. We need to take you by the hand and show you what is the system, where do we make the purchase, and so on. We want to train you so that you understand that there's a great business opportunity there. There's a lot of money to be made cleaning up the environment from plastic. And lastly, we would love if you join us. We have a dream team of conscious entrepreneurs that love to work together on this project for the planet, and we want to grow with you. So after this call, message your referral, whoever sent you this video or invited you to this presentation, and come back to them. If you have more questions, perfect. Ask your questions. There is no stupid questions. And then let's continue together. Let's grow this team. Let's all clean up more plastic from the environment. Let's all make money doing so, because there is no taboo about making money in a conscious way. And it's fun, and it talks to everyone. It's actually an easy business because you don't need to convince anyone about the plastic problem. That's for sure. But what you can do is open the door for a solution to the problem, to clean up the plastic from the planet and to not leave a trash, garbage planet to our children. There's money to be made because we are not cleaning up the plastic if there is not money to be made. That's unfortunate, but that's how humans work. So thanks to this project, they found a way for us to make money cleaning up the plastic. And for me, that's just genius. So that's it for today. Thank you so much. Let's continue the good adventure together. Ciao, ciao.